the Big Al and Dave podcast. I'm Dave here with Al. What'd you think of that Super Bowl this past weekend?
It was a little bit disappointing.
Disappointing?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean disappointing?
The Patriots won. And I really didn't want them to win.
Why is that?
Remember, I told you I don't want anything good to happen to the Patriots.
You wanted something good to happen to the Falcons?
No. I just didn't want the Patriots to win.
Can you say something good about the Patriots?
You know what?
Because I was going to ask this, because I was assuming that you would say the Falcons blew it more than the Patriots won it.
Yeah, I would say that.
And then maybe you would give me crap about how Kyle Shanahan called that last drive. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
With 2 minutes to go.
That was the greatest blowjob I ever seen. You know?
And you've seen a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Julio Jones makes like the greatest catch of all time with 2.5 minutes to go.
But you know what? Sometimes your coaches try to out-coach. You sort of like, they pull like the way Seattle did a couple of years ago. Here it is. Atlanta got the ball, 8-point lead, and already in field goal range. At that point, I think it's about 3 minutes and something to go. You got the clock on your side. At that time, you don't want to score fast. You want to go ahead and run a little bit of clock. But no, somebody wants to be a hero. They want to really beat them down. So instead of just trying to milk the clock and run the ball, he drops back to throw a pass and gets sacked.
Dude, when they had a 25-point lead, they ran the ball 4 times.
Yeah.
With these 2 stud running backs that I was bragging to my grandma the whole time about how.
And the running back, they broke real long runs along the way. But you know what?
They didn't even have to in that point. Just you have a kicker that makes 97% of his field goals within 50 yards. That would have been a 39-yard field goal for Matt Bryant.
But you got a quarterback who's feeling himself, and you got a coaching staff who's feeling them too. And so they forgot about the main point. You got to win the game first. And they wanted to go out and set records and stuff. And
they did set records during the season.
Oh, well, they set some more during this Super Bowl.
That is true.
You know?
That was by far the biggest comeback ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and in that game, we was already starting to say, oh, he done got 2 MVPs this year. MVP and the MVP of the game. All of just, you know. And I don't feel sorry for him. I don't find...
Of course not.
I just don't find this... I just can't feel sorry for another team in the first place. And football players, I don't think they want people to feel sorry for them.
No, they're not even worried about that.
Yeah.
No.
But you know what? It's going to take some years for them to kind of get over this. You know, teams that get beat like that in the Super Bowl,
dude,
they usually miss the playoffs the following year. I'm putting it on the records right now that they're not going to the playoffs.
I told my grandma they'll be 7-9 next year.
If they're lucky.
This is the Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
it's the same thing. This was an anomaly. Wait, how did I say that word? Anomaly? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but don't let me try it. If you ain't going to get it, I'm not going to
I cannot say that word all day yesterday or Sunday. Whatever it is.
I know you're going to cut this out.
I might keep it now. This was an outlier season because Matt Ryan and Cam Newton, neither one of them have had great years prior to their MVP seasons. These are outlier seasons for both of them, and they happen to be in the same division.
But Matt Ryan had some decent seasons. You know, he hasn't had a season like this, but he actually had some decent seasons. I've always
and that guy's had some wide receiver talent.
I've always considered him probably in the top 15 in quarterbacks somewhere.
Number 15.
Well, hey, that means there's 17 others who wish they could be there.
I'll take them.
Given you guys quarterbacking situation.
Oh, there's not anybody now.
Oh,
Kaepernick's opting out.
Hey, that's just another move that the 49ers made that was just asinine. They, instead of risking him getting hurt and stuff, they wanted him to get a buyout so they wouldn't be stuck with his contract next year. So by him doing that and gave him the option to go and opt out the contract, now in a year when there's not really a franchise quarterback coming out of college and they don't have the first, second, what's they pick in the draft this year?
Second.
They got the second pick in the draft? Well, it don't make no difference.
Mel Kiper said they're going to get Mitch Trubisky.
Who is that?
From North Carolina?
You know what?
I didn't hear about him until after the college football season.
They're going to be garbage. Oh, I'm just loving this. I'm just loving this.
See, and then also I thought maybe you'd roast me about Kyle Shanahan coming over after that debacle.
You're getting another loser to come help you guys out.
Man.
Oh, man. It gets better every day.
Are you sure you're enjoying this?
Oh, I'm really enjoying this. You know what? The 49ers, I'm loving it. Everything they touch is going wrong. But you still got those 49er fans out there like you, Dave.
What did I do?
Who think that they're...
What do I think?
You think things are going to turn around for your team, don't you?
If they get lucky.
They're going to have to get real lucky. No quarterback.
That goes for everybody.
Well,
hey, Bill Belichick got fired by the Browns.
Everybody gets fired by the Browns. I told you about the Browns.
Well, this was the Ravens version of the Browns.
The Browns is look. They
Not
haven't
this
done
Browns.
anything since they had Jim Brown.
Oh man. Yeah.
Anything. That was before you was born, Dave.
Well, no, didn't they go to 2 straight AFC Championship games against the Broncos?
Were you born then?
I was alive.
No, you wasn't.
When they played the Broncos in the 80s?
When was you born?
84.
Okay, then.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had
They got
some.
a name for that play. When
The
they
drive.
lost. The drive. Was that the drive?
Yeah. Either way, both of them were. Didn't John Elway come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of your all-time favorite players, right? Elway?
Elway?
Yeah.
I never liked that buck tooth. Oh, I hate him. Oh, he's one of my... Well, he's a Bronco.
Why,
so
because he would beat you?
I think our team had a winning record against him.
Did he really?
I think we had a winning record against him. You know, he never got to where he was winning any Super Bowls until Terrell Davis came there. If it wasn't for him, the only thing he had on his resume is making it to the Super Bowl and losing.
Yeah, he lost 3 out of 4.
That's right. He should have been a
Blowouts.
Minnesota Viking fan player or something. The many Super Bowls he was losing.
Yeah, when they lost 4 in the 70s.
And then once Terrell Owens come there and he gets
Terrell Davis
get there and he gets to 2 wins, all of a sudden he's a great quarterback. He's garbage. Always been garbage.
Jason Whitlock says he's the best NFL player that ever played. Greatest quarterback ever.
And what makes him such an authority?
He's on TV. He's doing something right.
One day you and I might be on TV. Would that make us a great authority? You know?
That would be shocking.
Yeah, it sure would. It's like a lot of these people get on there to call themselves...
Hey, Skip Bayless makes $6 million a year. That's more than, half of the NFL head coaches?
That's right.
Just to talk sports. Mike Greenberg makes $6 million a year.
Hey, in television, there's so much money they just got money to throw away on anything.
Oh, that's not going to last very much longer.
Oh, you're right about that. It's going to dry up sooner or later.
Yeah, because that ESPN bubble with everyone canceling cable and satellite, it's going to happen.
Yep.
Hey, so you're going to say something good about the Patriots before I cut you off. Let's hear what this is.
The only good thing that came out of this Super Bowl, to me,
The only good thing
is I don't have to listen to Niners fans tell me that Joe Montana is the best quarterback ever. Now they don't even have that claim to him no more. So for that I'm glad they won. For that I don't have to hear 49er fans talk this Joe Montana trash anymore.
I was saying Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback ever 2 years ago when he led that comeback against Seattle.
Well, you a 49er fan.
Which was the record. Huh?
You a 49er fan.
Yeah, but I was saying Tom Brady was the greatest after that.
Yeah, but you know what? If we had a player playing at a position and he was arguably the best player ever at his position and somebody else was coming along to try to steal his thunder, it's no way in the world I would even contemplate seeing somebody else was better.
Who is the greatest quarterback of all time? Just say his name is the greatest quarterback of all time.
In my opinion,
Of course.
Kenny State.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna. You would rather have him than Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Why is that?
Because I flat out don't like Tom Brady.
Who's the second best quarterback of all time?
Well, it's going to have to be from a team. Let me see.
Just say Derek Carr.
Not yet, but he's on the way.
That might be true.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough blow this year.
Oh, man. And that guy's a saint, too. I hope
I don't know if he's a saint.
Why do you say that? No, I said Derek Carr, not Kenny Stabler.
Well, Derek Carr, but whenever you start to put
Somebody on a
an
pedestal?
NFL player, put them on a pedestal, soon as you do that and you put that title in front of me, next week you hear him going either
I don't know
drunk
about this
driving or
guy.
something else.
Every time I hear this guy talk, it's like Tim Tebow.
Ooh, Derek Carr?
Yeah. Except he can actually play.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what
I wasn't
you
talking
meant
about the play on. I wasn't talking about the play
I
on
was
the
up
field.
there like Tim Tebow. Okay, like I got to hear where you're going
Yeah,
there.
you know how he's like he's too nice of a guy.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that might do in Derek Carr that he's too nice.
Oh no. He's got that killer instinct about him.
That is true. Actually, his brother talks about how they have a pickup basketball game and he has to win it. Like he's ultra competitive. So, did you have a Super Bowl party this past weekend? Usually, you'll have what? Like, how many people did you have at your Super Bowl party last year?
50 or 60.
You have a huge yard back there.
Yeah.
The thing's amazing.
Horseshoe pits. Dark
That's right. Yeah, I came
boards,
over one
everything.
time, played horseshoes. Came over and played basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a basketball court there, horseshoe pit, dartboard,
Yeah.
Huh?
Now I'm putting in a rose garden.
a rose garden.
Yeah, my wife wanted something in the backyard that she can handle. She didn't like the Raider zone. You know what
You got Raider footsteps back there.
Oh, Raider furniture, tables. You know
Those are fun to walk on.
Oh, that's right.
I wiped my feet off on them, I think, last time.
Oh, okay.
They worked out great. So how many people did you have over this?
Maybe
past
about 15.
Man, that would be a huge party for me still.
Oh, no, that was just.
I'd be
basically
overwhelmed.
All family.
How do you handle that?
15 people?
Oh my goodness.
That's
Were there kids?
some, yeah.
Oh, how many kids?
3.
How old were they?
Grandbaby is 9.
She's 9 years old now? Wow.
9 years old, and I don't know, the other two is probably
You have about
3
15,
and
you have
10.
about 15 people there. Oh, and then you have multiple TVs out there too, huh?
Oh yeah.
So you had it all going.
When everybody got multiple TVs.
Not in their backyard.
Oh well, it was raining, so it was indoor.
Oh, you did everything inside.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. All right, let's talk about your trip to Super Bowl 37 against the Raiders and the Buccaneers.
That was a great trip until the game started.
Well, wait a minute. You almost didn't make it.
Oh yeah, something came up.
Okay, can we question whether you're a hardcore Raider fan or not?
Well, after I tell you this little story, Dave,
Yeah.
it's sort of like it explains the level of just.
Quickly, let me mention your wardrobe choices today. You got a Raiders jacket on with a Raiders hat, and on the back, you sewed shields with player names and numbers, right, on the back.
All the Raiders, it's
All the Hall of Famers?
Is titled Raider Royalty. Some of them aren't Hall of Famers yet, but they should be.
Why aren't they?
Because the NFL think it's already too many Raiders in there.
Is that what it is?
Oh, that's what it is.
I don't know if I believe that.
Oh, well, that's the story I'm telling, and I'm sticking with it.
I think I've heard that phrase before. So you're all Raidered out, and so what almost, I don't even know if it almost kept you from going to the Super Bowl.
Well, let's put it
This is 2003, the Raiders and Buccaneers Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's put it this way. A lot of people out there say they're hardcore fans and the stuff they would do because of how hardcore there is. But I'm going to tell you a couple little stories to explain to you that sometimes it takes more than just saying what you got to do. You got to see if you would, when you confront it with a situation, what you really do it.
Well, hey, we're doing this podcast inside my living room, and if you look around, we got the 49er fat head on the wall. We got a 49er pillows on my couch. You made me this rocking chair with the 49. If Big Al's Crafts, look him up on Facebook. Big Al's Baskets.
It's Big Al Sports.
Big Al's Sports on Facebook. Look him up, and he makes all this incredible stuff, just like your jacket here. And I got 49ers helmets, all 7 of them in front of my TV. You're admiring them. You like all this stuff.
No, I don't.
You don't think I'm a hardcore fan?
You a wannabe.
Why? Well, let's hear what you were up to.
Okay. So back then, I guess on Wednesday.
Wednesday
Raiders,
before the Super Bowl?
Before the Super Bowl, the Raiders, they was having like they was calling people numbers to see if you got the lottery to win to get a ticket to go.
Because you're a
to
season
Super Bowl.
ticket.
So
You're
I'm a season
ticket holder for since the 70s or
yeah.
8. Yeah.
So all the if you go to the Super Bowl, you're back then the home team only got 15,000 tickets for the fans.
Yeah.
So they have a drawing to see which ones are going to get them. And so they pulled my name. And not by accident, but they pulled my name.
How excited were you?
I was not terribly excited because I bribed somebody.
What do you mean?
I went down there with a couple of $100 and somebody who worked in the office who was doing the picks.
So you're like David Stern, the NBA commissioner, trying to freeze the envelopes so the Knicks get Patrick Ewing or something like that?
It worked. So I was
such a scammer.
They called my name.
So you weren't surprised at all.
So I wasn't surprised they called my name, and I was waiting for. They told me what time they was gonna call my name, and they called. So you answer your phone at 5:00, and at 5:00 I was got at 30 minutes before waiting for them to call.
Yeah, you already had your plane tickets.
I already did.
You did?
Yeah. Because
man.
when the Raiders is going to Super Bowls and stuff, I buy my ticket to the Super Bowl almost a year in advance. That way you pay the price for what the ticket is actually worth. Because if you want to get it, like next year, I'm going to have to buy my Super Bowl ticket already. Because next year, you got to figure, if you buy your ticket right now, you get it at a good price. If you wait until like almost by the Super Bowl, the price is quadruple.
They go for thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars just to get an airfare. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, back
Oh, you're talking about the plane tickets.
the plane ticket. Yeah. But anyway, back to
I'm surprised you don't just buy plane tickets every year. Even when you were 3-13, you was talking about going 13-3.
Yeah, okay, well, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, I'll agree with you this time.
So anyway,
yeah.
Back to
you get your ticket.
Yeah.
All right.
So I come home and I tell my wife that they pull my name, and I just went and purchased my 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. When I tell her that, she says, well, they just took my dad off life support, and they're only giving him 72 hours to live. So you can't go to the game.
That's a direct quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, your dad done lived his life. I'm going to the game.
Whoa.
She got mad and she said, if you go to that game, I'm not going to be here when you get back.
Yeah, her dad is on life support.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He was going to die if I'm there or not. So I told her I'm going to the game.
What would her dad would have said, do you think? Would he have said go to the game?
That wasn't important to me.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
It wasn't his decision.
Yeah.
So I told her I'm going to the game. She got all mad and stuff. So anyway, I went to the game.
Oh.
I was at the game.
You don't, it's just like, there's no feeling like, oh, I feel guilty about it, or?
In retrospect,
Yeah.
looking back at it now, I feel bad about it.
We are a changed man now.
But at the time,
It was just like,
I had tickets to go to a Super Bowl and see my own team play. So you got to understand this, Dave. If you're not rich
yeah.
and you just can't go to the Super Bowl anytime you want to. You know, for people who's working people, who you got to buy tickets and stuff, you just can't go to the game anytime. The rich can just say, oh, well, you know, I don't have to go to this Super Bowl. I'll go to the next one. But to get to see your own team playing a Super Bowl, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime event for people who are not rich, and I'm not rich. So, and when you look at it, the Raiders haven't been, I'm 60 years old, and the Raiders haven't been back to the Super Bowl, and it's been, what, 14 years they haven't been? So
They haven't won it in, 34 years?
yeah, so I may not get another opportunity to see the Raiders.
34 years,
Oh,
right?
we don't want to make that point. Let's go on to
Okay.
what I was saying. The point being, I went to the Super Bowl. So she tells me that the doctors called, the hospital called her like an hour before the game started and said if everybody wanted to still see him alive, you better head to the hospital.
And you're already in San Diego.
I didn't know about this, and she told me this back after I came back. So, because back then I didn't have no cell phone or nothing, so
Yeah.
it wasn't no, you know.
This was 2003.
Yeah. So, I was, when she told me that, now just imagine, if I'm at home, Dave,
Okay.
and the Super Bowl is getting ready to start,
Yeah.
and somebody tells you you got to leave going to the hospital, and your team is getting ready to go see the Super Bowl, I'm getting ready to play the Super Bowl, would you have got up and went to the hospital? Or would you have watched your team play?
Oh, man.
Come on now, just tell me. If you got to think about it, I'm telling you again, you ain't no hardcore football fan. Because you know what? If I wouldn't have went to the game, if you could think she could have got me up to not see the Raider game and go to the hospital, we'd have been arguing anyway. So I went to the Super Bowl, came back on Tuesday after the Super Bowl. When I walked into the house, she had moved everything out and it left. She kept her word.
Yeah.
If I go to the game, she was moving out. And she moved out.
That's understandable.
And, hey, I agree with what she did, you know?
Yeah.
She had to do what she had to do.
You had to do what you had to do.
That's right. And I went to Super Bowl, and for the most part, I had fun. So, you know, sometimes you got, when you're talking about how hardcore fan you are,
Yeah.
put all of these wannabe hardcore fans in that situation. Put all them hardcore wannabe fans. Now, a lot of them will look back, oh, I'd have done the same thing. Yeah, they'll do done the same thing because they ain't put in that same situation at the time.
That's a situation right there.
I handled it. I went to the game. And right now, it's still a sore spot with my wife. We get to talk when the Super Bowl come on. She still think about that. So I'm not sure if I wanted to hear this podcast or not.
Yeah. Well,
It might stir invoke old memories.
We'll keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
Especially when he wants to demonstrate how hardcore he is.
Oh. And then, after the Super Bowl was over, you know, I'm in a foul mood, just like all the rest of the
I mean, because it was good for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part it was, till the game started. But then after the game was over, you know, it was jacked up anyway down there in San Diego.
Yeah, what
They
was
didn't
the...
want Raider fans tailgating in the parking lot, so they made no tailgate.
There's no tailgate.
Because they didn't want the Raider fans tailgating in their parking lot, so they put all NFL stuff and they had no tailgating. And you had to catch the train. Everybody had to catch a train to the stadium.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
No parking.
No parking.
Oh, wow.
So to get out of there, they had like turnstiles and that you had to walk through, like all rails to guide you all the way to the train. So you had to, every company came out of there at the same time. So it was just like, can you imagine 50,000 people waiting all at one time to catch the train? You had to go through this maze of fences to get there. And nobody took into consideration that people might be in these lines for a long time. They didn't have nowhere to use bathrooms or nothing. So everybody ladies was just lifting their dresses up and going right there. Guys, it was the worst scene you could imagine when it was taking hours for people to get there. And everybody been drinking the whole game. And everybody just started urinating and stuff right in the lines.
What a mess.
Oh, it was a mess.
God. That's a true story?
That's a true story. And then after we make it through that.
And see, you already lost the game.
Yeah.
Let's mention that.
Yeah. Oh. So.
Your father-in-law just passed away.
Yeah.
And then it's just total chaos after the game.
Yeah.
What else could possibly go wrong?
Well, we had to get on the train. So once we got on the train, they sent us to a transfer station, like it was where else where we was going. So we got to the transfer station. We out there on the tracks, out there at a little train station somewhere in San Diego, or somewhere, I don't know. And we, and a lady rolls up to me in a wheelchair. Now, they gave us some seat cushions. I bought a program and a pennant.
Mm-hmm.
So the lady rolls up in the wheelchair and she says, "Can I have a..."
This is just a random lady?
Just a random lady.
She wasn't at the game?
No. She ran, "Can I..." and asked me,
Was she a homeless lady?
Could have been.
Oh.
I doubt it. But she rolls up to me and asked me if she can just have my pennant. I said, "Miss, I paid $20 for this pennant." She said, "Well, could I have your seat cushion?"
What, she's just randomly asking you for all your stuff?
And then I say, "No, I can't give you this seat cushion."
What's all
she
this
said, "But
for?
how about your program?" I said, "This program cost me $20. She said, "You know what? I didn't want the Raiders to win anyway." Now take it. I've been drinking a little bit. And the Raiders done lost.
All kinds of stuff's been going on.
That's right. And I looked at this lady. And that's why I'm so glad now that I'm a changed person. Because at that time, I wasn't changed yet.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, and I'm not going to say the words that I told her. But I looked at that lady and said, "Look, don't you have enough effing problems already?" And I was looking at her. I really was about ready to flip her out of a wheelchair.
Oh, man.
And she looked at me, and I think she could just see the fire in my eyes. She went and rolled on away from me. You know, that's why some people get themselves in situations. Here I am minding my own business.
I didn't want the Raiders to win
just because
anyway.
I wouldn't give her something for free, then she want to attack the Raiders.
Has she no decency?
None.
You had the decency.
Did I tell you I grew up in Richmond?
Yes.
Yeah, well, she's lucky.
You had the decency.
Yes.
Because it took every ounce of fiber.
Every bit of it.
Oh, man, yeah. You are hardcore. There's basically no way anyone's going to tell you you can't go to a Raiders game.
No way. I had a friend of mine one time.
Yeah.
And before the Raiders, this is like the Raiders is just coming back to Oakland. We're
going back to 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders just come back to Oakland. Well, we all excited. We done went to every game the first year, and this is the second year, and we was planning. The Raiders had a Monday night football game, the first one at home against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
We was planning. So before the start of the first football season, he met a girl and fell in
This
love with
is
her.
your friend who is also a season ticket holder.
Yes. So he met this girl and fell in love with her and stuff, and so he so when a week before the game come up, he already got his ticket and stuff. He said, Al, I got something to tell you. I'm not going to be able to go to the game. I said, you're not going to be able to go to the game?
And you guys went to every game.
And we go to all the games.
They just came back to
I'm trying
Oakland.
figure out what's the mercy you can't go to the game. He said, well, my fiance, she's a friend of hers planning some kind of party at their house, like one of them women parties, Tampa, Tupperware, I don't know, some kind of party, and that he had to go with her
For a Tupperware party?
Some kind of like a. I say,
It wasn't because their father was passing away. It was.
no, she had to go to a party, and she planned a party on the Monday night football game that he been planning on going, and I'm up there like. You gonna let her tell you can't go to the game? I say, no in the world I'd let her tell me I can't go to the game. He said, Al, that's the reason why you've been married 4 times. I say, and I'd be willing to get married a 5th time. I say, let me tell you something. Here it is. You call yourself a hardcore Raider fan.
Yeah.
And you gonna sit up here and tell me you gonna let not even your wife, your fiance tell you can't go to the game. I say, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't go to this game this Monday night, 3 years from now, you're not going to be going to any games.
This is what you tell them.
Yeah, I told him 3 years from now, you're going to be going to any game. And 5 years from now, when you go to the bathroom and I have to pee, you're going to ass turkey and you stand up.
What is he? How does he react to that?
He got so mad and stuff, and we started arguing and stuff. But to let you know how profound that was, since that time, the Raiders been back here like 16 years or something, 18 years or something like that, whatever it is.
22 years.
22 years. He's only been to maybe 3 or 4 games.
Since then.
See?
Well, what happened?
Well, when you
Wait,
let
came
somebody start telling you what you can do,
He's going to Tupperware parties on the weekend.
Probably is. Lingerie and everything else. But
That doesn't sound too terrible.
okay, he ain't
Tupperware does.
He's not going to football games anymore. So that's one 49er. I mean, that's one Raider fan who probably should have been a 49er fan.
Should have been a 49er.
Should have been. You're going to let somebody tell you can't go to games.
I don't want to let anybody tell me what I can't
I don't
do.
tell my wife if she can't go. If she want to go see something or go somewhere, I don't tell her she can't go. So I don't expect her to tell me I can't go somewhere.
Makes sense to me. That you are.
So whenever you guys hear people talking about they hardcore fans,
Yeah.
tell them one of them 2 stories and see if they really hardcore, if they wannabe. Remember we was talking about all them wannabes? There's a lot of wannabes out there. Perpetrating.
Well, I remember playing basketball with you in your backyard.
Yeah.
And you're wearing a Raiders t-shirt. No surprise there. And the thing is like hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Because it's so ripped up and tattered.
Yeah.
I just spent my this past weekend before the Super Bowl. I emptied my closet and I donated 3 garbage bags full of stuff. Old blankets, and then a lot of old 49er stuff.
Oh, blasphemy. How would you ever see? That's the difference between a Raider fan and a 49er fan.
Yeah.
I got a box.
You won't get rid of anything?
I got 2 boxes at my house.
That shirt.
And on the outside of the box, it's got retired Raider shirts.
Why wasn't that shirt?
Retired Raider hats.
Well, why wasn't that shirt in there? I mean, how do you retire a shirt when you're wearing?
When they can't hang on no more.
I mean, this one was like, you're nip slipping it like crazy.
It doesn't matter.
It was like you weren't wearing a shirt.
It doesn't matter.
Well, God, I gotta see these.
You knew it was a Raider shirt, didn't you?
Next week, you gotta bring over these retired shirts.
Yeah, I'll bring over one of my boxes that says retired Raider stuff.
I'm gonna be like, "Ow, that's a box full of yarn."
Oh, whatever. But I just can't bring myself to throw away some old Raider stuff. It's like you kick your elderly out, you throw them away. I'm not throwing away Raider stuff.
I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yes, it is. It's believe me, I just can't do it.
How much Raider stuff do you have?
Well, I got you saw, I got an outdoor Raider room that you seen.
Yeah. He's got a tent set up in your backyard back there.
Yeah, and it's my Raiders headquarters, like. Then I got the Raider zone with all Raider stuff there.
You have built...
Then I got a Raider room.
Well, wait, inside that tent is something interesting that you put together, that you built. Piece of furniture.
Oh, the table?
Yeah.
I got a table in there that on the top of it, it's got, I think, the top 25 Raiders of all time. And the picture frames is like cut into the wood, and it's got lights up under that illuminates it, lights up the whole room. Pretty awesome table. I made it myself. It's one of a kind. Just to let you know where I'm at with the Raiders. You already know it. I got Raider ships and Raider everything, pirate ships and everything
that you put together.
That I made.
Yeah.
So.
You got the Raider room inside.
Oh, I got an indoor Raider room too. With all custom-made stuff that I put up on the walls in there, too.
Didn't your wife have you get rid of the Raider room one time?
Yeah, one time her sister came and stayed with us, so we.
He has a soul.
I had to take my Raider room down and relocate it into the garage.
Oh man, actually, phew. That makes me feel better.
But as soon as she left, it was up and it was running again.
Yeah, you had somebody from her family move in, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, thank goodness he has a soul.
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, come on, you have to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, so will you go see the Raiders again in the Super Bowl? You buying your plane tickets to Minnesota?
I'd go see the Raiders again in the Super Bowl.
Do you know how to make that drawing happen again?
There's always people to be bribed.
You know somebody still? Of course you do. We're not going to say who their name is.
If you walk in there with money.
Is that what it took?
Yes. If you walk in there with money, there's always somebody willing to take a bribe.
Yeah. Freeze the envelope.
That's right. When you got people in there who might be working and making $10 or $15 an hour, and you present them with a few bucks, and all they got to do is pick your name. I'm just telling you.
Oh wow, yeah, you don't even have to go up to the power brokers.
And no.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I shouldn't be telling everybody my secret because next year it might be an influx.
Oh yeah. We'll edit this part out.
Yeah.
Well, so how many times do you see the Raiders on the road per season now? Aren't you going like
1 or 2 times a year?
You're going once or twice a year now.
Yeah. Because I didn't consider San Diego actually road game. What
do you mean? Because you were going there every year.
Yeah, but that's like a Raider home game. You know, and I had a brother live in San Diego, so it was just I've been to San Diego so many times. So that's like a home game for the Raiders. It's always more Raider fans there than it is Charger fans, so that's a Raider home game.
Well, that happened in San Diego with a lot of teams.
Oh yeah, well with us it happens with a lot
I remember
of teams everywhere.
A Steelers Monday night game in San Diego. There was terrible towels everywhere. A Bears game. There was Bears fans everywhere.
To let you know how Raider fans might rank against Cowboy fans, if we ever get another Raider game at Cowboy Stadium, we're going to take it over.
That's not that impressive.
Well, what would be a more impressive stadium? What stadium you think that would be impressive if we took their stadium over?
Green Bay.
Green Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, we easily take their stadium over.
No, you won't.
Oh, yes, we will.
The whole crowd is like the city is the crowd.
And the city for a few bucks will sell their tickets.
You're gonna organize this?
We don't have to. All we got to do is say Raiders. we want to converge on Green Bay.
That's all you have to say.
And all we got to do is take to the internet and offer money, and people going to sell their tickets.
A bunch of high rollers in the Raider Nation.
I don't know about high rollers, but hey,
You got to do what you got to do.
you got to do what you got to do.
And you got to do that, huh?
Got to do it.
You may not win on the field, but what's your phrase?
We're going to win in the stands. But
Wait, say that again?
Raider fans back in the past, if we didn't win on the field, we was going to win in the stands.
In the stands?
Oh, yeah, because we're going to be whooping somebody butts in the stands if we lose it.
Is ESPN going to cover the stands situation?
If the game is a blowout, they just might.
Is there a line you can bet on in Vegas for the stands? The stands fights?
In Vegas, you can bet almost anything. But believe it or not, it's not a lot of fights at Raider games anymore. They started giving people, arresting them and giving them $1,000 fines. They put like a little jailhouse, built it up under the stadium. And when you get arrested and stuff, they take you straight to the little courthouse right up under the stadium. And they tell you when you come off, and if you get into a fight and they arrest you, it's $1,000 fine and it's non-negotiable. You go get all the lawyers you want. It's $1,000 fine and it's not negotiable.
Why do you know this so well?
Well, I got buddies who was unlucky enough to get. I have never been in a fight at a Raider game, and I've been to hundreds of Raider games. Never even come close to getting in a fight.
Just after the Super Bowl that one time, and that wasn't really a fight.
Yeah, I'm not going to games to fight.
Yeah,
and
you and me both.
I don't drink like that, so we don't have to worry about. Most of the people who get into fights is people who drink and get out of control.
And that's at every game.
And I go to other stadiums and I root for the Raiders and stuff, and I have no problems with it. Because most of the time, if you're not drunk and you're at somebody else's stadium, you're not being obnoxious and stuff, nobody's going to mess with you. It's the people come to the stadium all drunk and get to saying all bad words like F the Raiders and blah like this when they losing, and people forget about this is Oakland. And you come from, say,
Santa Clara,
and you come into Oakland and you done got drunk and you done got I'm all bad, then you get to find out what really bad is all about.
See, last year you went to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw your Facebook video that you took. And you were going, Raiders.
That was a great game.
Nobody messes with you.
Nobody. Yeah. And we was in London. London was a great game.
You went and saw the Raiders play in London.
Oh, yeah.
That was in
3 years ago. So
okay.
16, maybe. No,
played
13 or 14.
14.
Yeah.
Played the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Got blown out, right?
I can't recall.
Is that the year you started like 0-10 or something?
Oh, we was not 0-10.
You can't recall. What do you mean you can't recall?
I can't recall.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember what our record was that year. It's not important.
Well, what was it like what was the atmosphere like in London?
Oh, in London, it was great. It's like the Raiders, all the buses over there had the Raiders are coming on the buses, and it was just great.
Nobody was excited about the Dolphins?
A few fans they had to show them. Actually, they had a pretty good amount of Dolphin fans show up.
You're going to give them credit?
Oh, yes. Well, look, Miami to London ain't it's like coming from Oakland to London. You know, we travel twice as far as they traveled almost.
What would be the percentage of, what percentage of the crowd was Raider fans and what percentage was Dolphin fans, you think?
I'd say 50% of it.
Oh, and then there's a lot of neutral.
I'd say 50% of it was Raider fans, 10% was Miami fans, and the other 40%, which is made up of just people who live over in London who just want football over there, and they just buy a jersey of the teams who's playing.
Well, they have all kinds of different jerseys out there.
Oh, they had all different types, but then some people just bought jerseys for the team that was playing that day.
Yeah.
So.
You have like a Raider rally out there that you attend, or get together with Raider fans, or?
Well, they have what's the name of the street? Their street where they set it up, Regents. They have the NFL Experience. It's like about a 7-block street with all these real expensive stores on each side, and then they had all kind of stages set up. for fans and stuff like the NFL experience.
Okay.
So we went there, and oh god, it was an enormous amount of Raider fans. Old Raiders, retired Raiders was walking all through the crowd signing autographs. Didn't see any Jaguar.
Dolphin.
Didn't see any Dolphin.
Bob Greasy wasn't hanging out.
Not with all them Raider fans.
Okay, he does the radio for Dolphin.
Yeah, he might have been out there somewhere. I just didn't see him. But it was amazing. But we went over there and we stayed a week in Paris and a week in London. So.
Yeah. How was Europe?
Oh, it was great.
A week? You spent a week in Paris and a week in.
About 4 and 4, 5 and 4, or something like that. Like a week and a half over there, and we hung out. We went to Paris first, and we stayed in Paris. And then about 2 days before the game, we came to London and hung out in London. And I had to apologize to the Queen. I didn't have time to stop by and see her.
You're in contact with her?
Well, I wanted to make contact with her, but I was trying to get in touch with some of the Raiders. So I'm sorry I didn't have time for the old gal.
What was the most different thing about Europe compared to United States? Is there something unusual?
Their food.
I thought there was something about bathrooms or something.
Oh!
Wait, what
Now,
was it?
This right here is a true story.
It's a true story.
We was over. We was over there. We went to Disneyland in France,
Okay.
and we went to Disneyland and
You're in Europe with your whole family.
Yeah.
For this Raiders trip
with
to.
my daughter and her sisters and my grandbaby. So 6 of us went.
Yeah.
So we was over there, and so some of them wanted to go to the Louvre, and so while they was going to the Louvre,
This isn't just you going to London for the Raider game, and you're going to Disneyland.
Oh no! So my
Which
daughter
would be
wanted me to go to
hilarious.
Disneyland with her, so I could basically watch the stuff while her and her daughter was on the rides and stuff.
Yeah.
So we went to Disneyland over there, and so I went into one of the restrooms to use the restroom.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and you know how you in there, and they got a urinal and stuff, and I'm sitting there, relieving myself. And this lady...
Sitting in the urinal?
No, I was standing at the urinal. Remember men stand up?
Yeah.
Okay, I was standing at the urinal there. And this lady walks in with her cleaning supplies.
Wait, a lady walks in.
A lady walks into the men's restroom with her cleaning supplies. And
She works there.
She works there.
Yeah, all right.
And she comes to the urinal right next to where I'm standing here peeing. And I looked at her and I say, "Excuse me?"
How old was she?
Probably 30-something. I don't know.
Was she hot?
No.
No.
So I can see how she got away with this. But she came off into...
You can see how she got away with it.
Anyway, she came into the bathroom, got in the urinal right next to me, and started cleaning it. And I'm like right there in hand, looking, and I said, "Excuse me?" I say, "Miss, this is the bathroom." She said, "I got to do my job." I say, "You got to do your job while I'm in here using the bathroom?" They don't pay. I have to do my job. I say, "So your job that you come
You're talking.
into-"
Wait. So this whole conversation is happening, and you're still going.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do that.
And then I'm up there, "So you got to do this while now?" She says yes. And I just looked at her. I said, "You must not be married." She said, "Why you say that?" "Because there's no way I'd let my wife be cleaning the urinal when the man is standing right here using it. I said, "Well, you know what? If it don't bother you, it ain't bothering me." And I just shook it and kept going. But that was like I couldn't imagine that. You go off into McDonald's and you can buy beer.
Oh, there's another unusual thing about.
You can't. And was it? What? Let me see. Where's the soccer team? What's it? I get the cities mixed up. Chelsea.
Soccer.
Soccer.
Who cares?
So we must have been in London.
So what?
So what's the what's the team? Manchester United or is it
That's
Chelsea
like-
or something?
Manchester United is like the most valuable franchise in the world, isn't it?
Okay, so we was up on in there.
Even more valuable than the Raiders.
Get out of here. So we was in there, and they get on the train, and I guess they done just won a soccer match, and all these like kids like look like some of them look like they was 13, 14, 15 years old. And we could see them coming for the train, and they was hollering and screaming. All of them had bottles in their hand. Well, they had bottles of wine in their hand. And when they got on the train, and they was up there, and they was like rocking the train and hollering and screaming and stuff. And they said, we just won and stuff like this. And they was talking about a soccer match.
Yeah.
And so I got to talking about it. I'm like, I said, how old are you? 15. I said, and you can drink? Well, you can drink when you're 14 years old. You just got to be 18 to buy it.
Oh, wow.
I say, so when you can drink at 14 or 15 and you got to be 18 to buy it? I said, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. So all these kids get on the train all drunk and hollering and screaming.
Bunch of little kids.
Yeah, so
Basically.
when you get to talking about when people get to complain about America, believe me, there can be worse places.
Oh, there's no better place in the world than America.
Yeah, but you talk to a lot of Americans and they don't see it. They don't know how blessed we really are.
For sure about that, yeah.
You know, because and then
Was this a riot?
it should have been, but the kids were going crazy. They were just rocking, and it wasn't no riot. They were celebrating because they had won a soccer match.
And those fans over there are...
Oh yeah, they was out of control. I thought Raider fans was bad on Bart afterwards. Believe me, they tame. Them people was I thought they was gonna rock this little train off the tracks. I mean, they literally can feel the train rocking.
You're on the train?
We was on the train and they was pushing it back and forth.
You're on the train?
I was on the train.
You gotta get off of that thing.
Wasn't
You were
nobody-
there with your family, right?
Yeah, we just sit there and just was looking at how crazy they were.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine that. I'd be out of there.
You couldn't have got out of there at that point. They like just hundreds of them just out of nowhere just came onto the train.
Oh man. Yeah, Al in Europe.
Yeah.
Would you go back
Yeah.
if the Raiders play in London again?
Well, I'm going next year. The Raiders got a game against the Patriots
That's right.
in Mexico City.
So you're gonna go to Mexico City.
So I'm going to Mexico City to see the Raiders play.
Oh, well, you've been to Mexico?
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, I liked it. Well, see, when you look at me, Dave,
Uh-huh.
when I'm down in Mexico, people think I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
When I'm in Hawaii, people think I'm Samoan.
We don't know. We don't
When
really...
I was in New Orleans, people thought I was Creole. I'm in India, they gonna think I'm Indian. If I'm over in the Middle East, they gonna think I'm Middle Eastern.
You're a walking melting pot.
That's right. 'Cause
What do you got in you?
white, Indian, Mexican, black.
What else you got? That's
I might have some more.
because when you were born, what did you look like? You look like me.
I was blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
My dad wanted to take me back to the hospital. He took me back and told him they made a mistake, gave him the wrong baby.
Yeah. Well, it turned out.
Hey, my eyes are still a little bit weird, but you know,
Your eyes are like a chameleon.
hey, I done got used to them. I like them.
Hey, well, we're glad you're here.
All right.
Got anything else to say about the Raiders? Let's wrap this thing up here.
The Raider Nation. This is Raider X coming at you again from deep within the confines of the Raider Nation. Raider Nation, now is not the time to hang your head. Now is the time to get out there and walk the walk and talk the talk. Because the silver and black is back. And let everybody know that we're starting a new membership drive. For all these wannabe fans who want to come over to the Raider Nation, we started a drive right now. We will accept them into the Raider Nation.
I'm
right
eligible?
now. You are eligible, but once you come to the Raider Nation, this is a lifetime. It's the whole changing. Once you get to the Raider Nation, you'll say, how could I ever been rooting for somebody else? And Raider fans, on June 17th, they're having a Raider party at Santa Cruz Beach and Boardwalk, and it costs $75 a person. All the food and drinks come with that $75 and get the ride for free. So Raider fans in June, come out and hang out with the Raider Nation, and let all the other nations see how we roll.
Can I? I'm gonna say my message to 49er fans now.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna rally.
Those tooted listening.
Huh? I'm gonna rally us all up. You right? Well, we're not really going to Santa Cruz or anything. I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. Hopefully we get lucky here and get a quarterback, and we'll see what happens.
Or if you're unlucky and you don't get a quarterback, we know what's going to happen. It's going to be kicking the whiners while they down again.
We'll have a decade of
don't even say mediocrity.
No.
No. I'm hoping that you guys have at least 20 years.
20 years?
20 years.
Hey, they're the West Coast Browns at this point because the owner's loony. If you fire 4 coaches in 4 years, especially one that goes to 3 straight AFC title games, he can't get fired. So.
Well, I look at the con job that this. You know what, Peyton, the one. What's your new coach name?
Shanahan.
Shanahan. I look at the con job.
Son of your former coach.
We fired him after a year and a half. I look at the con job he just perpetrated on York. Here it is. Now you got a owner who has a history of firing coaches every year, and he managed to talk a 6-year deal out of him.
For him and John Lynch.
For both of them. Now you know he might only get he probably only get 2 years before they fire him. So basically, he's going to get 4 extra years of pay.
Yeah.
You know?
He's already paying Chip Kelly and Jim Tomasula.
Yeah. There's an old saying that used to say, may a fool and his money, may they soon part. You know?
Hey, come on. Jed York worked really hard to get born into this family. You got to give him credit.
Yeah. I bet you his grandpa and grandmama, they probably turning over in their graves right now if they're no longer with us, to just see how he's squandering the money.
At least he got a stadium built. For what it's worth.
For what it's worth.
Yeah.
Go have an empty stadium.
Well, that's already happening.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so this has been the Big Al and Dave podcast. He's Al, I'm Dave, and we'll see you next week.
Go Raiders!
Go Niners.
Where they're going, I have no idea.
All right, peace.